I'm Chaz KLIMCZAK, and it's July, which means I'm on vacation, and I'm going to places like the Monroeville Mall, where they shot the original Dawn of the Dead. All month long, we're sending you to some European exotic location. Let's head over to the theater and take a look at this week's movie. Anthropophagus, released in the United States as The Grim Reaper, is one of the most interesting messes to come out of Italian horror cinema in its respective time period. It's not quite sure what it wants to be: a monster movie, a giallo, an American slasher. Because of this, it ends up being all three, which is utterly ridiculous. The facts that it landed on the Video Nasties list and was heavily trimmed in North America as well are the only real points of interest here. This one is for completists of subgenre fare. However, what makes this film remarkably interesting is that this is a European film being made at the climax of the Cold War and being marketed at Westerners, so the dialogue is meant to sound very American, and the setups are clearly from American cinema, but the dialogue is written by Italians. So what we have here is an impression of Westerners by Easterners during a very tense time, and the resulting dialogue is remarkable.
I don't feel so good.
You'll be okay when we get off.
What is it, Maggie? Nothing. It's almost over. Like they say, I think the kid's got football boots, and he uses them to take dancing lessons.
We paid rent on that thing for a month and should get all the use of it we can and see the whole archipelago.
Yeah, but with Maggie in her condition, we can't
That just means you'll leave Maggie and me off at the first island and pick us up on the way back.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, hell. I'm so sorry.
It's nothing, really.
Please let me buy you another one.
Oh,
I mean, it's the very least I could do.
My husband does something like that at least once a day.
And the interactions between the characters illustrate the strange impression we give Easterners about how we treat each other and how we confuse the validity of our emotions for entitlement to act upon them.
Very nice guy. I like Carol a lot, too. And she's crazy about him.
But don't let the flattery go to your head. Never let the chance go by.
What's the matter, don't you like him?
I like him a lot. He's my best friend. But the fact is, Carol's my sister.
And it clearly illustrates our flippant attitude toward the big stuff.
Take over?
I'd love to.
Okay. Keep your eye on the compass and correct the bearing if the needle slips away from this point. It's easier to do than explain. Very good.
Thank you.
And it certainly hints at how we love to put this spin on things.
Oh, Carol, come on. I think the message is very clear. The two knights are the two men in your life. One's your husband, and one's the baby. Therefore, it'll be a boy. The sun is a positive sign of strength and security. It'll protect your two knights all their lives.
Thanks, Julie. You found something nice and innocuous.
But Carol, why did you stop?
I guess because the cards hadn't answered. And I believe in these cards. And when I don't see clearly, I can't just invent things.
Carol, if the cards didn't answer you, why worry so much?
But underneath all of the subtext are remarkably beautiful shots only like the Italians can shoot them, and in that beauty comes some genuinely creepy atmospheres. While there's plenty that's beautiful to look at, and while there's plenty of cultural implications made by the film's subtexts, what hurts The Grim Reaper as a horror movie is that it plods along kind of aimlessly. It should be noted, however, that when the good stuff happens, it really counts. Anthropophagus is fun if you don't take it too seriously, and engaging if you do. The problem is the space typically reserved for character and suspense building is wasted here on padded dialogue and search parties. The climax is complete silliness. There was a loose sequel that was released as Absurd in some territories. The only continuity is that George Eastman plays the monster in both movies. In the end, the Grim Reaper barely manages to collect 2 slashes out of 5. This one is for completists and gorehounds only. The Monroeville Mall is located just outside of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. Most of the mall looks radically different than it did in the 1970s, but there are a few places that are still old and recognizable. And there certainly isn't anything outside of the mall that looks remotely recognizable the way it did in the movie. It's also looking like JCPenney has now been reduced to 1 floor. If you make it out to the Monroeville Mall, make sure you check out Sinbad's Mediterranean Grill. It's excellent. From the other way.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
So,
Got it. Wait. Yeah.
where they shot the original Dawn of the Dead. But you viewers all... Cut. Cut.
Night, Mr. Waba.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.